Okay, in this video I'm going to tell you how to change your beliefs, how to question them, how to awaken from your mental stories. It really feels like awakening to me because when you have certain beliefs, they can lead you to certain feelings, which can lead you to certain behaviors and then certain results. And if you change your belief, you can feel differently, which you can then act differently, which can then manifest a different result in your life, you know. And this is like very like rational. I'm not talking about manifestation or anything. I'm talking about like literally what you're doing. For example, when someone tells you something and then you're like, oh, this person thinks that I think that this person doesn't love me, or this person hates me, or whatever, like, and you start like making assumptions based on like whatever like tone or whatever the person says or whatever the person didn't even say. And then I feel like many times in my life I have made assumptions in my relationships which have led me to take like a distance myself from people that I love, just because I was cultivating these assumptions about a relationship and about their behavior. So that's one of the reasons why I feel like it's important to question your beliefs, learn how to distance yourself and like change your beliefs and like question them. And another reason why I think it's important is because I feel like a lot of people in the spiritual community, or like people like me, you know, like who are like very like think a lot about things that are like beyond the material world, I guess, who think about reincarnation and like soulmates and aliens and I don't know what else, dimensions, and there's so much information in the internet. And like in the past I have like watched so much content like without filtering my beliefs, you know, without like managing my beliefs and being like, okay, do I actually believe this? Do I have actually evidence to believe in aliens? I don't have evidence. I like the feeling of it. I like feeling like we have company and there's people that like light beings that love me and that support me and guides and all of these things. I like the idea, you know, of the higher self, but I have no evidence. So like I think it's important to not to not take it too seriously as well, you know, because certain ideas, if you take them too seriously, can actually potentially lead you to psychosis, you know. And that's what happened to me. I was all over the place, you know, with so many different ideas and different assumptions, and I didn't have the tools to question my beliefs in the past. So I got lost, like really lost, and I ended up having a traumatic experience, you know, of disconnecting from reality, of thinking that I can actually make up anything, you know. And I started to like make meaning out of things that didn't have inherent meaning, but I was just interpreting everything, you know, and adding beliefs into things that were neutral, you know. I feel like most things are neutral and we add meaning to them, you know. And that's why I feel like it's so freaking important what I'm about to share with you, the art of questioning your beliefs and awakening from your mental stories. Anyway, so that was my explanation of why I believe it's important, you know. So in other words, beliefs lead to feelings a certain way, and then it leads to a certain behavior, which then leads to a certain result. And sometimes those results give you evidence that, oh, what I believe is true, you know. for example, like, and it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes, you know. For example, if I believe that someone doesn't text me because they don't love me, and then I stop talking to them, and then they stop talking to me as well, and then I'm like, yeah, you see, they don't love me. Well, I created that, you know, based on my own misinterpretation of the story. It could be true, but also there are other possibilities, you know. So what I want to share with you is how to maybe how to come up with different interpretations to a certain situation, so that you can be like more neutral and more like realistic and more like accurate, and you can be more balanced in your perception of reality. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, it's I created a graph here, and I included this actually on the there's a link in the video, and it's very good. So there's a situation first, okay? So the situation is my friend didn't text me, and then my initial belief is they don't love me, and then you can also like question, why do you believe this, you know? Sometimes it's good to like go deeper, but you don't have to, but sometimes it's good to be like, why do I believe that they don't love me? In my case, is because I have a rejection wound, you know? So sometimes I think that people don't love me, and I'm constantly thinking about, do you love me? You don't love me? And this insecurity comes from my own wounds, you know? So that's how I know that. In this case, I know it, but sometimes you don't know it, okay? Then, because of that belief, what is the consequence, you know, of the belief? How do you feel about when you believe this, you know? Well, when I believe that my friend doesn't love me, well, I feel hurt. I feel hurt, you know, really hurt. I feel unloved, and it's not nice. So what do I do? Well, I push them away, and I become super distant with them, and I stop talking to them because they don't text me, or they didn't text me, or whatever. And then there's another graphic here, which is how you can actually come up with different explanations, you know? It's like, so what is an alternative explanation to this situation, you know? So another explanation could be, my friend is actually busy, or my friend maybe is going through a rough time right now, or my friend just forgot, and you just forgot, I don't know, you know? So, and then you write them down. So now, as a consequence of these new explanations, how do you feel, you know? Well, now maybe you feel more balanced, because you're like, oh, well, maybe there are other explanations. Maybe it's not that they don't love me, maybe. So you detach from your negative assumption, and it makes you feel better, usually, you know? So what do you do as a consequence of this new perspective? Well, there's other things you can do. There's many other possibilities now, instead of just taking your distance, you know, which is the next part of this video. Is what can you do afterwards, you know? After you do this, you can also confirm or deny your assumptions, you know? So this is the other part of the sheet, is how can I confirm or deny my belief, you know? So in this case, my friend didn't text me. What can I do? I can tell them, hey, I have an assumption that, or maybe just, hey, you didn't, the first thing I would say, like, for example, would be like, hey, you haven't answered me, or like you haven't texted me in a while. I just wanted to know if are you okay? And or is there a reason why you haven't texted me? You can actually confirm, you know, what is going on in their head, you know, because you can't just know, you know. So one way it would be to ask them, or like you can tell them, I have an assumption that you don't want to like a friendship with me anymore because you don't text me anymore, you know. You can ask them that, you know. The funny thing is that before doing this video, I was like making this like sheets and everything to help people, and I actually asked one of my old friends that I had stopped talking. I told him exactly that, like, is there a reason why you don't talk to me, you know? I have the assumption that you don't want this relationship. Is it true, you know? Just to make sure with him, because he just stopped talking to me and I was like, fuck him, like he doesn't love me anymore, you know? That was my assumption, but I don't know if it's true, so I have to know, at least so that I have some clarity, and if it's the case, if it's true, at least you have the peace of mind of being like, well, now I know, and now life is life, you know? But sometimes in other situations, it's impossible to know if it's true, you know? So like the next question would be, is there a way to absolutely know this is true, you know? Like your belief, or to know even the truth, you know? In certain cases, it's impossible, actually. You have an assumption and you cannot confirm it or deny it. And it's important then. If you cannot confirm it or deny it, can I let go of the need to know? And I think this is important because now we're talking about relationships. Now we're talking about, for example, like conspiracy theories. I believed in conspiracy theories before, and I didn't have confirmations, like really proofs, tangible proofs that they were true, and I didn't have tangible proofs that they were untrue. So it's like, do I keep digging, assuming that it's true? Like I have no way to like really prove that. So like, do I keep just digging and digging? And some people just do that. They dig and they dig, and like there's no end. They just dig more and more, and like there's more like potential evidence, but there's never like true evidence, you know, for their conspiracy theories. And I in my case, if that makes you happy, do it, but like in my case it was very unhealthy for me to be like questioning reality so much, you know. So I let go of the need to know everything and to know the absolute truth about how the world works or whatever, you know, because it's just healthier for me not to like have the assumption that there's this conspiracy happening and that I have to know what's going on, and I have to get to the truth as if there was one like absolute truth. And anyway, so those are the tools that have helped me question my beliefs, so that I have more realistic beliefs, and also so I don't make assumptions and they don't affect my relationships, and also so I don't end up becoming delusional and have a psychotic episode. So that was it. Peace.